continuing my series for Galentine's Week. In the name of loving yourself, in the name of divine feminine love, both reflected outward with each other and reflected in here to you, to yourself and your own sovereign feminine being. I want to bring up a conversation I was having a few days ago with someone who was inquiring about the Witchery Academy I'm building. As it is progressing, it's looking like it's going to be a 4-year course. It's going to be a 4-year study, just like Hogwarts, only Hogwarts was more years than that, but like a school, 4 years of study. We'll be studying 4 years together, the curriculum, and it will be a open enrollment where you can gather, and then we will close and we will stay together for a year. Then the next year, just like Hogwarts, right? The year ones will come in to do the sorting hat, and then open enrollment for year 2, and we'll go on like that through the tracks. And that's how the academy is going to work. They were asking me about what the curriculum covers and why it's so long, and why there is so much to cover. And this was my response. How many people today, how we have been trained to expect that we can change, and we can change quickly, that we can change our thoughts like that, change our lives like that. We have the 7 habits of highly effective people. We have the 1-minute millionaire. We have the 3 steps to highly effective people. We have the spiritual enlightenment and blah, 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 bite-sized nugget pill popping candy juice, drink the Kool-Aid, num num. You know what I'm saying? It just go look at the books on the market for how to do anything. And all of them are selling you how to do it quickly and effectively. And I ask you, how many of you have tried things like that only to have a step or 2 of success, and then your life goes back to kind of how you were before? And is that not a gateway to so much suffering? Aren't we increasing our capacity for pain and discomfort and shame and a sense of failure when we approach these quick fixes and then they don't stick and we wonder why? It's kind of like that dieting thing I did for years, right? It works. You do all the hard thing in your 6 weeks or your 1 month or your grapefruit juice or and you take it off, and it doesn't stay off. And when it comes back, it usually comes back with a vengeance. And then you feel defeated. You feel like a failure. You feel shame. And I refuse to be a part of this system. So whether you're in the Witchery Academy or whether you're simply facing whatever years you have left on the planet, and you want those years to have a higher quality and a better zing and more authenticity and full of more of your own, the discovery of your own magic, the uncovering of your original gold, your original nature, right? Using your original voice so that you can feel that you're living an authentic, juicy life, regardless of what that looks like. You can feel it. If that's what you want, I'm encouraging you to embrace the long haul. I'm encouraging you to look at the end game and play the long game. Because inevitably, in every conversation I have with artists who are trying to make a business out of their art, or I'm having a conversation with someone who is attempting to build their dream business, or I'm having a conversation with someone who wants to live a more creative, more juicy, rewarding life in their personal life, or I'm talking to someone about a relationship with some long-term relationship issues, or I'm talking to someone about their health and the health game, inevitably the conversation swings to, what are my steps? And this natural human desire to want the quick fix. And it just doesn't work that way. We deepen. We ripen. We authenticate through practice. We become. You know, there's no, it's like, I've used this example a lot, but it's true. When people think that fame or money or relationship or certain status, like successful status, like a certain job, a certain career milestone is going to make them happy, inevitably, it's not the thing that makes them happy. The happiest people I've ever met are wholehearted people who are involved in a practice of meeting their terrors, their shadows, their anxiety and their depressions, their disappointments every day. They're also willing to meet their juiciness, their fullness, their miraculous nature, their original innocence, that being they were born with that got covered up and covered over by what should be and who we're going to seek approval from, who we're going to appeal to. It got covered over by expectations. It got covered over by safety measures, things that we thought would keep us within the realm of approval, within the realm of safety. And inevitably, we have to show up to and discover first, uncover and discover that original gold inside of there, which involves radical self-acceptance and becoming your own best friend. That is not something you do in 3 quick steps. That is not something you do at a weekend workshop. That's not something you do at a month-long workshop. This is a practice. And what excites me far more than putting a book together or putting a workshop together and selling it and being done with it is companioning people as they learn to belong to themselves. And once they learn to belong to themselves, practice the art of belonging to each other, to their dreams, to their hopes, to their calling and their mission. It's a beautiful freaking thing, and it isn't something quick or easy. This is a long, deep dive into the truth and discovery of you. Even for those of you who have made wonderful strides, there is an incredible alchemy that happens when you share yourself with others, when you are mirrored soul to soul with others. There's a synergy, there's a magic that happens. So first taking you into your process of falling in love with you and becoming your own best friend, and then encouraging you to share what you find in there with others, and then share it with the world in whatever your particular mission is. Meaning your mission can be showing up to the world with your truth and your authenticity. It doesn't have to go any further than that. And that is enough to make a huge change in the world, because when you show up like that, you automatically pass on permission for other people to discover their own. It spreads like wildfire. And we are the witches who came to burn that which no longer belongs to her, to unity, to wellness, to wholeness. Instead of burning the witches, we came to burn what no longer serves the witches. So this is a process. And what I want to encourage you with on Galentine's week is that you be willing, in whatever path that you take, you be willing. You don't shame yourself for not being there yet. You don't shame yourself for only being halfway there yet. You don't shame yourself because you don't have a community. You don't shame yourself because you have feelings of loneliness or isolation or anxiety or depression. This doesn't make you a failure. This means you're on the path and you're awake enough, you're woke enough to know that you're on the path and that you're seeking. That longing is a holy calling. It's like that scene in Frozen. Ah, you're being called. And maybe you're being called into the unknown, or maybe you're being called back into the remembrance of who you really were before the world told you who you should be. Have patience. Be present. You aren't really becoming anything. You're unbecoming everything that was never you to begin with, to discover all the rich, juicy, practical magic at your center. And that is a true love story. And it's worth the long haul.